Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
Matt's coming. No. When do we start?
Episode 50.
Wow, this is the longest relationship I've been in some time.
That's sad.
I mean, 50 weeks. That's almost a year. If you're keeping track at home, it's
So now it's time
2 weeks shy of a year.
So now it's time to break up, just so you don't have to go into that extra commitment of like, look, we've been together a while.
Well, I mean, usually after a year, that involves like a nice dinner, some candles, a card, some sort of present.
Patreon.
I'm not going to subscribe to the Patreon for the show that I'm on.
I got the payout yesterday. I can't tell you the physical relief I get when I see that email. Like, you have money. I'm like, thank you.
What, $7?
A little more. But hey,
$8.50.
Everything is nice, believe me. It brings me such a level of peace just seeing that. I'm like, oh, thank you so much.
Oh, good. How was the con this weekend? You were away.
Okay.
It was okay. Did you do some business?
Yeah.
Did you make some coin?
Yeah, just not a ton.
Did you cover your expenses for travel?
Yeah.
With the money you made?
Yeah, no, I made a profit, but it wasn't a huge profit. It was like a quarter of what I usually pull at these.
Did you meet Adam West?
No, I didn't even see him.
Did you go anywhere near him?
I must have been near him, but...
So was it in the mall? Like, was it up and down the mall? Like, were you next to a Spencer's Gifts or something?
No, it was in an abandoned JCPenney.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like a strip mall, like you were like inside the mall and like between like a Spencer's Gifts and a Victoria's Secret?
Look, this mall was dying, no question, but it was still in just one contained space.
Were there a lot of people there?
A couple thousand, but not a lot.
Was the free parking a lie?
A little bit.
Really? Tell me more. I love a good scandal.
They wanted me to move my car. I'm like, no.
What do you mean they wanted you to move your car?
Well, they blocked off all of the entrances, but you need to move your car. I'm like, yeah, no, you rented this. I'll get right on that. You rented this space, not the parking lot.
So they were like trying to like make you pay for where you were parked, or
no,
like
they just
were you parked in like a VIP section?
No, I just parked. Weirdly enough, I parked like outside of a closed off entrance, and they were like, "You need to move." I'm like, "Get right on it."
Well, it was the real story that you were parked in a handicap spot. Is that what was going on here?
No, they were just weird about parking.
Oh wow. Well, it is Hanover.
But it didn't make sense because all the entrances around where it was happening were closed off. So I was parked like away from any possible entrance to the show. They're like, "Move!" I'm like, "Yeah, no."
Did you enjoy some of the fine amenities in the Hanover region?
Went to a pub.
How was it a good pub?
Went to a good pub.
All right. Was the hotel nice?
I didn't stay at a hotel. I was, thankfully, I had family close by. God, if I didn't have that, it almost would have been a wash.
Oh, really?
This is the first show I've worked where I might not go. I probably won't go back.
Oh, well, sorry, folks, for the Hanover Comic Con. Just get Zach a chauffeur driver in a hotel room, and he'll consider.
The one anecdote I can give to kind of like set the mood for the entire show.
Okay.
Which really permeated the entire thing.
Not our podcast, but the show that you were at over the weekend.
Yeah. I show up, I walk through the door, and I check in, which is all fine and normal and dandy.
Okay.
And normally I get a fancy lanyard. Sometimes it's holographic.
Let me guess. No fancy lanyard?
There was no fancy lanyard. Instead, there was the kind of bracelet you would get at a water park or a concert.
Ooh.
Where you have to like wrap it around your own wrist, and it's like...
And then snap it on?
No, like the sticky ones where they never quite line up right.
Or like, and they get on your like wrist hair and they pull on it?
Yeah.
Those are miserable.
Yeah, and the woman goes, "Okay, you can't take this off for 2 days. Don't worry, it's waterproof. You can wash your hands and shower."
Let me guess, it came off in the shower?
No, but it was just
Did you not shower? Is that what you're saying?
I did take a shower.
Did you spend a whole weekend without washing your hands? Because that's not very sanitary.
I was kind of annoyed at this thing, but I was like, oh, this is the kind of show I'm working at. The cheapest possible one, and that just kind of...
Set the tone.
Yeah. The first thing that happened, I was like, oh.
Was anybody cosplaying? Were there people dressed up?
There always are. There are some decent ones. Actually, my favorite kind of cosplay is a bad cosplay.
Yeah?
Where like it's clearly 100% homemade, and they're just not good at it.
Is it cos or cos?
Cos.
Cosplay, okay.
Like Bill Cosby, the cos.
That kind of cosplay
Don't
to get you in trouble.
No, I love a bad cosplay. It's my favorite kind. I mean, you always see like the good, like people might, tons of money and time and effort. I like the one who was like, someone put maybe like an hour and a half into it, and it's just not good.
Were there any Zeldas? Like people dressed up like, well, that'd be Link. Was anyone dressed up as like Link or Princess Zelda? Because the Zelda game came out recently.
No, the ones you want to like play the drinking game on is, do I see someone dressed as Harley? Do I see someone dressed as Negan?
Oh, yeah. Were there a lot of Harleys?
Oh, there were so many Harleys. There were always so many Harleys. If you play that drinking game, you'll be dead.
I mean, was it warm enough for people to be dressed like Harley down there?
No, that was part of the... There are some Harleys that were like, have like the booty shorts on, but then like leggings.
That doesn't...
Like, it is cold.
Any Darth Vaders?
Yes.
How about some Han Solos?
Yes.
Were there any Spider-Mans?
Not that I remember.
Wolverines?
Yeah.
Do you have a Professor X?
No.
We should like get a motorized wheelchair. I'll get a bald cap and I'll shave my face and like I could roll around.
Yeah, no, it was okay.
That's what I should do. I should go to the Bangor show and cosplay out of your booth.
Sometimes I've
never done it. I'd be open to trying it.
Some shows they might be vendor shows, they might be artist shows, they might be celebrity shows. This one didn't know what the hell it was. It just kind of took whatever.
Any Captain America, any Avengers?
Yeah.
Do you have a black? Was there anyone in Black Widow? Like a Black Widow? Some lady wearing like tight black like vinyl?
There's always people wearing tight vinyl.
Oh, well.
It's not always pleasant.
I don't usually go to comic shows to do that. I just wear black vinyl for my own pleasure, I guess.
But yeah, the Hanover show, okay. Not great. I made a profit. I don't know if I'll do it again.
No, okay, but I mean, nothing.
Some good stuff happened.
Nothing bad happened, it sounds like.
No, it was just, I was running off like 3 hours of sleep.
Can't believe you didn't go out of your way to like try and meet Adam West. It's not easy for the mayor of Quahog, Rhode Island, to get out these days. It's very busy.
I mean, he has a handler. Guys like him are just packed tight. Like, they got a schedule.
Yeah. But, I mean, you wouldn't, like, try and go and, like, at least get, like, sneak a peek and... No, not your thing. Did you wander around? Did you booth wander?
There wasn't really anything for me. The shows really aren't my thing. Like, some people are like, I like collecting all kinds of things. I'm so hyper-specific with what I like. Shows really aren't for me. I'd be like, well, I saw the one thing I wanted for 5 minutes. Time to go. They work for other people, but unless it's like a big show, it's not really my thing.
Well, live and learn, I guess.
That's just me. Everyone has their own way of going about it, and that's fine.
Well, I'm glad that it was a profitable weekend for you, at least.
Yeah. Wish it was more.
You always wish it was more.
Yeah, that's true. I understand you have a thing to plug.
Oh, yes, I do have a thing to plug. The first ever Ed Heads NCAA Tournament Bracket Challenge, hosted by our good friend Mad Titan. He's put this together.
I really have nothing to do with this.
I don't know the prizes yet. He has not informed me of the prizes.
I know the prizes.
Oh, are you going to list the prizes off here on the show?
We can. Do you want to explain it, then I'll say the prizes?
So for those of you who may not be familiar, an NCAA Bracket Challenge is after this coming Sunday. We'll know the teams that are in the NCAA tournament. All you have to do is check myself or Mad Titan out on Twitter. We've retweeted it, and you can log on to the Yahoo Bracket Challenge website with our team code and password. And you
I think
can.
it's Jerry6.
It is Jerry6 actually, and you can. In fact, hold on. I can pull up. I'll pull up the information. As I'm doing that, I will tell you. You select who you think are going to win the games of the NCAA men's basketball tournament starting next weekend, the weekend of St. Patrick's Day.
I like how you're acting like you have to do this like in real time. You could just look it up, and I could cut out the dead space.
I'm trying to make it like work for you.
You could just. Be
I'm trying to be.
You just go, hang on a second, and then I could pretend like you just did it almost instantaneously.
Okay, here we go.
Boy, that sure was fast. There was no unnecessary noises.
Yeah,
in there
our friend Carolyn was. She liked it. I think she's going to participate. Obviously, Mad Titan.
I imagine there'll be a few people.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
This doesn't have to just be an in-state thing either, because I know we have some out-of-state listeners.
Yeah, no, we'll get you the prizes. It's the Editor's Note Sports Ballers. And the password is Jerry6. That's with a capital J because it's a proper noun, Jerry6. It's the first ever Editor's Note Comics NCAA tournament, and it's free. There's nothing to it as far as like paying to be involved.
Nope, you just go, you do your thing. I'm gonna make a bracket, but if I win, and I won't, I would give it to the second place.
You
person.
actually may have a chance of winning because the less you know, the more you know, kind of.
But we do all of the. There's not going to be like tiers for prizes. Everything is just going to go to whoever wins this.
Oh, it's a prize package?
It is a package.
Oh, okay.
There's a gift card.
All right.
I don't remember the value. Didn't write it down. But
is it a gift card? Is it to the
yeah,
the
to
shop?
the shop, yep.
Okay, I didn't know if it was. It's a gift card to like
Is it
Sbarro's.
Oh boy, I don't remember. Yeah, there's a gift card to the shop.
All right, we like that.
There is going to be a totally awesome Hulk Jeremy Lin comic.
Ooh, there we go.
There will be 6 to 7 posters. I wish I'd written down the details.
Okay, but with this everyone likes posters.
6 to 7 of them. And the prize that might make you not want to participate.
Oh no! This prize is good.
Do
This
you
is
actually
the
know
most.
what this is?
I see your notes. This is the most coveted of prizes. I am excited.
It was demanded upon me that we give away an Editor's Note comic shirt, which are actually they're really high quality.
They are.
No, these are actually.
You spared no
really
expense
good.
on the T-shirt. I will give you that.
Yeah, they're really nice. But you will win an Editor's Note Comics T-shirt, whatever size you want, between small and extra large. That will be signed by the two of us.
See, that is a collector's item. You're not going to want to wear this shirt. You're going to want to hang it on your wall. You're going to want to save it. The value of this motherfucker is going to be through the roof.
What a waste of a shirt.
No, this is not a waste of a shirt at all. And we'll even personalize how we sign it. We'll put your name on it, or whatever little message you want. Zach's will probably be like, "Sorry, this is a waste of a shirt," and I'm going to be like, "You're awesome. Way to be."
A little inside baseball. Our buddy Mad Titan was like, "What size do you think your average listener is?" I'm like, why don't you just wait and let them pick the size?
That's a smart.
He's like, that's a better idea.
Smart idea. I like that you use the term inside baseball there. Look at you.
I know things.
You're getting ready for the sports ball event.
I know metaphors.
Who would not want a signed shirt?
Not from us.
It's a prize package spectacular.
I want to read you my new favorite comment of the week based on an article I put
Oh,
out.
okay. So
Don't pull out the headphones. Easy does
we
it.
just kind of pulled the whole. Hold on. There we go. Oh,
Delicate system.
kind of looks like it looks like your microphone is throwing out gang signs. All right. So is this a new segment that we're gonna have? As I feel like we should give this segment a name, like Irrational Hate Towards Zach. Is this from your best Batman? Or this was
Yeah, because what I'm gonna do,
because you just had a new article that hit this week.
Because I did best. Originally, I was gonna do like top 10 superhero comics of the 21st century. It was all like Marvel with a little bit of Batman thrown in. Then I'm like, screw it, I'll do one Marvel, one DC. And then that wasn't really gonna work. I said, screw it, I'll do one Marvel, one Batman, and then one DC without Batman, because that's the only way this is gonna work.
Yeah. Please tell me it's the same guy who said that you're either stupid or delusional.
No, this is a new guy.
Is it better than stupid or delusional?
Well, it has to load, but it's going to be instantaneous to the listener. So this comes to us from, I don't think a real name. His name is Bendik.
That's an unfortunate name. No wonder he's salty. You got a name like Bendik?
It's not real. It's definitely not a real name.
Bendik Prize?
Prytz.
Bendik Prites?
So, within the 21st century, with Batman writers, guys get some long stints. So, a few writers had a couple of appearances on said list.
Okay.
One of them being a name I mentioned before, Scott Snyder.
Yes.
Bendik responds to me.
Good name.
Why do DC properties keep getting handed to mediocre visionaries named Snyder? Scott's work is little more than exploitive edgelord drivel, better fit for the unholy pits of fanfiction.net than comic book shelves. Paragraph break. ... Rest of the choices were good, though.
That's it? So it wasn't really directed at you.
It was directed towards my choices.
No, I still like the either you're stupid or delusional. That's,
So that was my favorite of the week.
yes. Were there other comments on this?
Yeah, there were, but they were like, oh, you should have done this. Or one of my favorites, these are cool.
These are cool.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I'll do a DC one probably in 2 weeks.
All right.
Doing a Kong one this week.
Well, that's because there's a lot of Kong coming.
But we got to see a movie first.
Yes, but we've already seen a movie, but we'll talk about that after
the news.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
Oh. Are we still recording? Oh, we are.
what?
It's always worth double checking.
Okay, the way you said like you forgot something that we needed to see and it was going to require us.
Oh, the trailer week. First, what we're talking about. New Alien Covenant trailer. We just watched it. It had a red band trailer and one released in theaters. They're basically the same, but for a couple of different shots.
Yeah, and an F-bomb. I feel like that's
didn't
like the
even
new
notice.
chic thing right now. is like, we're going to put out a Red Band trailer, and it's not going to be that much different, except for we're going to show you that somebody in this movie drops the F word.
Yeah.
Like the Logan.
That's true.
The Logan Red Band trailer, it just had the guy with the adamantium claws to his skull and Logan saying, "Oh, bleep." That was the only difference between that trailer and the scene at the end of the trailer where Charles is like, we've been on the road for 2 days with, one meal and no sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one too.
Either way, this movie still killing it. I love the way this movie looks, and it's going to be one of those, is this going to connect with the Alien movie, with the crash ship that they find in that movie or not? In Prometheus, it didn't quite line up. It might here, I don't know, it just looks good. I don't have a lot to say. It looks good, and I'm not going to see it in theaters. I've said that already.
Womp womp.
I feel bad.
What if somebody, gave you money to go see it in theaters?
Yes, of course. I'm going to watch it anyway.
Yeah.
If you direct your attention over there, you can see a couple of Alien movies.
Oh, yes, on the wall of movie.
I like the movies.
So
I like some of the movies.
Why wouldn't you treat yourself to go to that movie?
Because we're treating ourselves enough. Do you want me to show you the schedule? We are seeing enough movies this summer.
I've already spent so much money on movies.
You've seen one movie this year.
I went and I also made the mistake of buying popcorn, soda, and some candy. I want to buy contraband candy beforehand.
Yeah, I thought you snuck Twizzlers in.
No, I bought the Twizzlers there.
Yeah, okay. Well, that was your own fault then.
Yeah, my bad. My B. The popcorn was outstanding.
We've seen one movie in the last 3 months.
Oh my god, what a fucking movie.
Easy does it. This is not an R-rated show.
What a freaking movie.
Thanks. But yeah, I don't know. Alien trailer still looks great. We get to see the alien in this one.
Yes, we do. We see the xenomorph on the ship.
Haven't seen that in a while. We kind of got a tease of it in Prometheus. Didn't really count.
It's a cleaner looking xenomorph too. It looked different. I think a lot of it is CG, so that may have something to do with it.
So before Logan was even released in theaters, there are rumors, a la Mad Max Fury Road, that there might be a black and white Logan released for home video.
Really?
If home video is still a thing.
What's home DVD? Home disc?
Home blue?
Home ray?
Yes, home ray.
Hombre.
Hombre. This won't be a bad hombre, though. This will be a good one.
Are they going to do a black and white release?
There's a rumor. But I imagine it. I don't know.
I don't know if I'd like it in black and white.
Mad Max for me made a lot of sense. Just with the landscape they had. And already just the kind of muted metallic feel of the movie as it was.
Yeah.
And I think I don't remember if I said it on the show or not, but there were, overall, I like the black and white version of Mad Max better, except for 2 shots where they were kind of emphasizing the green. Those definitely, a lot of the shots got better, but the ones that had the green lost. It's not like I'm describing a Swamp Thing book, but
yeah,
those lost a little bit. But I don't know if Logan would work as well in black and white.
No,
and it's also so closely tied to the series. I wish I'd written a note down for that. I got to remember that. Timeline. Got to talk about the timeline.
Yes, timeline.
I can make it work.
Yes.
Because they make me work for it. They just don't do it right. They make me make excuses.
Well, let's get to that when we get to the movie.
One damn syllable screws the whole thing up.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, that's the thing that might be coming. Something you mentioned a few weeks ago.
Oh, yes, I did.
Might be a thing. Tron 3.
Yes!
Still might be happening.
Ha!
And Jared Leto is apparently up for the main role.
Really?
I guess the guy who played Tron doesn't want to come back anymore, but whatever. What's Jared Leto doing? He didn't do a movie for 5 years, and now he's just taking on any old role.
Well, not any old role. I wouldn't say his role in Dallas Buyers Club was any old role. That was a big Oscar-style role. And
yeah, but before that, it had been 5 years, and then after that, he's like the Joker, and now I'll do Tron.
Well, I mean, look at someone like Daniel Day-Lewis, who does one movie every 3 or 4 years. But when he does it, oh my God, he's on his way to an Oscar. Think about how long it is in between Daniel Day-Lewis movies. We're getting close to that window, by the way, for another Daniel Day-Lewis movie.
Yeah, but aren't they all good? I mean, Lincoln or Gangs in New York, were they really any good?
Lincoln was... I really enjoyed Lincoln, because I like history. Gangs in New York wasn't terrible. There Will Be Blood.
Love that.
Last of the Mohicans.
I didn't see that one.
It's really good.
I don't have an opinion there.
What was the other one that he had an Oscar for?
I could fake an opinion good movie.
What didn't you like about Gangs in New York?
Too overblown.
What do you mean too overblown? You think it was too Scorsese?
I don't think it was Scorsese enough. I think he was trying to do something different that he couldn't quite.
There was quite a bit of Scorsese violence in that movie. Scorsese had the balls in that early on.
I think he does better on a smaller
scale. He killed
scale.
Liam Neeson in the first 30 minutes of the movie.
Smaller scale is what he does better.
He killed Liam Neeson in the first 30 minutes of the movie. Who does that? Scorsese.
I was trying to think of another movie where he died immediately.
I feel like there probably is one, but...
Yeah, I don't care. More news. There's a new Pirates of the Caribbean trailer.
Yes?
Well, you just watched it.
Yes, I know. I'm saying yes.
But they might have turned me around a little bit on this one. I'm still not going to see it in theaters. I didn't care about this movie at all, but they were like, this is the last one. I'm like, well, I've already seen the other 4, and they're only doing one more.
Oh, by the way, remember I just told you how we're due for Daniel Day-Lewis movie? Mm-hmm. He apparently is in a movie. It's an untitled Paul Thomas Anderson project.
Okay.
So there you go. Has he worked with Paul Thomas Anderson before? Yes, he did. There Will Be Blood is when he had worked with him last.
Your milkshake! I drink it up!
And then he plunges the guy to death with a bowling pin.
Yeah, Paul Dano.
Yes. I love that whole scene where he's explaining to the people like with the oil town, be like, oh, there'll be a school because school is important.
That's your Daniel Day-Lewis?
I mean,
that sounded like Sean Connery after he had a stroke.
Well, that's kind of, I mean, well, give me a better Daniel Day-Lewis than There Will Be Blood.
I didn't say I could. I just did. I drink your milkshake.
I drink your milkshake.
I drink it up.
There will be a school. Yeah, that's exactly. It wasn't like, Sean Connery is more like, there will be a school.
My God. Okay. Pirates of the Caribbean had a trailer.
Yes, it did.
Supposedly it's the last one. I'll watch it on Redbox. I still don't really care about these movies, but damn if they don't.
I didn't watch the most recent, the one before this one.
It's not any good.
That was what, Dead Men Tell No Tales? No, that's what this one is.
Oh God, I don't even remember.
It was On Stranger Tides.
Yeah,
On
that was
Stranger
it.
Tides. I didn't see On Stranger Tides. This is Dead Men Tell No Tales.
It's totally inconsequential.
Yes.
But if it's the last one, yeah, sure, I'll watch it. I'll watch it on Redbox. I don't care that much.
I thought we had the last one at World's End, which was great.
But I think is interesting is they in the Super Bowl spot they showed that one shot of Orlando Bloom. That's been it.
Yeah.
All these other trailers, there's been nothing.
We see a young Jack Sparrow in this, though.
Yeah, this de-aging technology is all of the rage now.
I'm gonna need some soon, probably. Little de-aging technology.
Just compression shirts, nothing but.
Yes.
Saw a picture of the Batmobile in Justice League. Well, they didn't listen to criticism.
No.
That Batmobile has all of the guns.
Yeah, a little more murdery look for Batman.
Look, and every cinematic Batmobile, with the exception of the Adam West one, has had guns. This thing has an excessive amount of guns. They upped it from the, one machine gun, maybe 2 cannons, to, every gun in history. Put it on this car.
Here, have this musket. Did you see the picture, by the way? It was on Facebook. It kind of went viral. And it was not so much for the actual picture, but for the comments. It was in Baltimore, I believe. An individual was arrested for having a gun, but it looks like an old school single shot, little Derringer, pistol. And all of the comments were like, cut this guy a break. He was just done fighting the redcoats.
It sounds like a hipster.
It was, there's tape wrapped around it and the tape's falling off. The guy's like, come on, even the tape's trying to run away from this gun.
It came out this week that Iron Fist in the upcoming TV series is not going to be wearing his traditional costume. And they're going to try and make it more grounded. But even though there's still going to be mysticism. And everything that comes out about the show sounds like this might not be super good.
That's not good. We don't like that.
I don't have a good vibe about the show. Everything that comes out, I'm like, okay. He doesn't even have a hard costume. He has a green shirt that's open, and he has a bandana. Okay,
it's not that hard. Yeah. Why?
Maybe eventually. I mean, Daredevil didn't have his full costume for the entire first season of his show, but he at least had the traditional Frank Miller Man Without Fear black suit. But whatever the hell. Here's the thing we never talk about, and I know nothing about, but I'll say it anyway.
Sports.
Even more obscure.
Oh, really?
Well, sports
is not obscure at all.
To me, it is.
Yes. What is it?
We never talk about the Valiant comic universe. You just shot me like, the hell is that?
Is it like Prince Valiant?
Yes. It's exactly like Prince Valiant.
Because it is exactly Prince Valiant?
No.
Oh.
I really know nothing about Valiant. They were big in the 90s, then they went under. Then they came back. And they have a small but strong following. A couple of years back, there was an announcement of a 5-picture deal with Sony. And we haven't really heard anything in a while. But apparently, Bloodshot.
Yes.
And if I know anything from the pictures, he's a guy who can shoot things.
Ooh.
Right now. So
the name Shot is kind of a giveaway.
And it might be bloody.
Yes, yes.
They have found a director in Dave Green, Now, if that name sounds familiar to you, it shouldn't because he's never directed a movie. I tricked you there.
Oh, okay.
It was a web of lies.
Oh, nice job.
I guess he worked with Tim Miller on Deadpool, but he has not actually done his own movie before. We'll see. I know literally nothing about Valiant. It's always one of those things I feel like I should try it out. Like, they have their own entire superhero universe, but just on a much smaller scale than a Marvel or DC.
Valiant Comics.
Yeah. But
All right.
Bloodshot. Bloodshot is coming, apparently.
On Valiant Comics.
Star Trek Discovery has its captain,
Ooh, who's our captain?
Lucius Malfoy.
Oh, the guy who played Lucius Malfoy?
I didn't write his name down.
Jason,
Isaacs?
Isaacs.
There we go. Jason Isaacs.
Do we have the name for the captain?
I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'll fact check the show.
I gave you, let you know who it was.
Well, I want to see if
I said the show. I said the
I want to see if
captain.
the captain has a name.
It's not going to be like Jean-Luc, like Jean Valjean. I don't know.
That's a different kind of captain altogether. Are they going to say like Jean-Luc Riker,
Jean-Luc Van Damme.
James T. Picard?
Terrible name. It was just announced today.
Oh, okay, well, it's the internet.
This news is as hot as it gets.
Ooh,
Ow, sizzling.
Yes.
I'd already done all of my notes and then this bit of information came out. I was like, fine, I'll add it.
Captain Lorca. There you go, Captain Lorca.
Captain Malfoy, got it.
Yes, Captain Malfoy. Yeah, there you go.
Whatever, he seems fine.
There's some really cool names of cast members on this, by the way. Oh, Anthony Rapp, wasn't he on? He was in Rent, wasn't he?
Show me a picture. Yep.
Yes.
Rent is one of the. I watched Rent like within the last year. I'm like, as I've gotten older, I side with the landlords. I'm like, pay your rent. Friggin' slackers.
I'll turn the heat off. Damn it. Some other cool names of people in that: Sam Vartholomos,
But like when I was in college, I was
Shazad Latif.
it's like, yeah, starving artists, man. Like, don't squander their art. As I got older, I'm like, pay your rent. You are hurting other people who have done their job. Stop it. Cut the crap. Pay your rent. You are in the wrong.
Were you one of those people that when Rent came out and was popular, like your voicemail message was "Speak"?
No, because that would be in the 90s.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a very good point. That's back when there were like cassette answering machines.
Yeah. No, ours in the house, it took so long to set up. We had a Three Stooges clip where they answer the phone. They're playing doctors in the specifics.
Hello.
That is the exact one. Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard speaking. I'm fine.
Yes.
So am I. How are you? Yeah, you got the exact clip. There you go. Good job. That was our answering machine for a bit.
Thank you very much. Look at that. Ding, 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 ding.
I'm really surprised you knew that.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm full of
I
surprises.
remember there was like one Christmas Eve we just got drunk and watched Three Stooges
Yes.
shorts.
Yes, we watched that one Christmas Eve. We crashed a friend's house with a bottle of convenience store wine.
Was that the same night?
It may very well have been.
I don't even know.
It's extremely possible.
Moving on in the news, let's deal with the big one that happened like in half an hour after we stopped recording.
Oh, yes.
The Guardians of the Galaxy 2 trailer.
Yes.
Am I the only one who just like wells up like, how can the movie be better than the trailers? Because the trailers are so good.
Well, but you know they're going to deliver. Like, this movie is going to kick maximum ass.
But I don't want to go into it thinking that because the first one caught me off guard so much and it was so good and the trailers are phenomenal.
I think that we're going to get another just fantastic movie. They have a great formula with that from the first movie. I think it's going to be very hard for them to screw it up, and they know that they've got something really special here.
And I made a conscious decision here. The trailers are trying their best to go out of the way to not spoil a movie, and if you dig a little deep, you can kind of get the general plot, but I've chosen not to break it down. If you want to find the information, it's out there.
We get our first look at Ego in the trailer.
Ego the Living Planet, and I think they're full of crap. I do not believe for a second that we are not going to see a giant face on a planet, because why else would you get a character like Ego the Living Planet?
I think that there's going to be like some aspects to it.
They had to do a trade to get that character. You could do any old character that wasn't a face on a planet.
Yeah.
Like, they've come out and said, like, no, you're not going to see that. I don't buy it.
Well, it'll be interesting.
I think we're going to see a giant silly face on the side of a planet.
My curiosity point being, how did a planet impregnate his mom?
Well, because there seems to be some kind of avatar he could go into in the form of Kurt Russell.
You know,
who's looking good.
Yeah, if you're going to have an avatar, Kurt Russell's not a bad one to have.
main resident himself, Kurt Russell.
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that. Did you know that Kurt Russell beat? He was the coach of the U.S. hockey team that beat the Soviets when they just played the role of. He played the role of Herb Brooks.
Okay.
In the movie Miracle. It's a sports movie. It's about the hockey, actually.
Have I seen Miracle? I think I don't know.
I would hope that you've seen Miracle.
I've seen a lot of.
It is about hockey.
Day. I've seen a basketball or two.
That was a movie, basketball.
Hoosiers.
Ooh, Hoosier, yes.
Mighty Ducks 3, The Mightiest Duck.
Oh no, Mighty Ducks 3 isn't as good as Mighty Ducks 2.
I don't know.
Mighty Ducks 3 is
I haven't seen those since the 90s. Someone was in the shop trying to talk to me about them. I'm like, I haven't seen those in 25 years. I don't remember.
See, you should re-up yourself and watch one of them.
I don't know. God, everything in it looks great. There's some minor stuff that I don't mind talking about. Like, we see that Nebula, played by Karen Gillan, she hasn't had her hand replaced yet. Like, we see her in handcuffs, and it's the first shot that we get that it's some kind of weird little claw. I love the Drax dialogue. Die, spaceship!
Yes, that was awesome. And then, well, remember we also had the there was the other clip from earlier trailers where he's on the ground saying "Screw you, spaceship." I feel like he loses his fight with the spaceship.
I feel like he does, yeah. Oh man, it looks so damn good.
It looks fun. Like, it just looks like a blast.
Like, how can this movie live up to how good these trailers look?
Yeah, I think it can, and I think it will. And that's what, April? May?
Yes.
Can't wait.
There is a trailer that we haven't mentioned that we will tease going into the movie we're going to talk about.
Yes.
There was a surprise teaser in front of Logan.
I think everyone knows what the surprise teaser is now.
Yeah, like how you paused. You're like, maybe. Yeah, at this point, it's not really a spoiler. Deadpool 2 had a teaser in front of Logan. There was a rumor originally that Ryan Reynolds was going to have a post-credit or mid-credit scene. They're like, no credit scenes. Maybe something else. There was I don't even know what to call it, really. It's some kind of tease, but...
It's like a vignette, almost. Not a vignette.
The movie hasn't started filming.
No, but this was filmed with the director who filmed or is going to film.
It's the new guy. If you see it in theaters, you will see a slightly different version. Want to describe what this was?
So, pretty much we get Ryan Reynolds' character. It starts and you think you're into the movie already, kind of. But you kind of get a hint that maybe you're not. He's walking down the street. He sees an old man getting beat up in an alleyway, so he jumps into a
phone booth.
Jumps into a phone booth and starts to change. You get a little Ryan Reynolds butt in there.
You do see some Heine.
And then, it doesn't go well for the guy in the alleyway because it takes Deadpool about 10 minutes to get changed.
What's happening while he's changing?
The guy's getting beat up, calling for help.
No, the theme.
Oh, it's the Superman theme.
Yeah.
Which I leaned over. It's the John Williams Superman fanfare. I said, how much should Marvel pay for the rights to use that?
Well, I couldn't remember who ended up producing that. That was a Warner Brothers production. I couldn't remember if Warner Brothers had the rights back in the 70s, but they did.
Oh.
So I have no idea. I do know that the Donners are now, the Donners who did the original Superman movie are now involved with all the Fox X-Men movies, so I'm not sure if they have some kind of pull or some kind of rights to that, since they're the ones who did the original Superman. Yeah. But yeah, that was a Warner Brothers production.
There were so many great little Easter eggs in there. Stuff about Firefly. There was stuff about...
Yeah, so...
You got really excited about something that was scratched on the side of the phone booth.
Yep. So if you go watch this online, there are some differences. The first one that I noticed is what clued me into it being Deadpool was Ryan Reynolds is listening to some music and he takes his headphones off and you can hear a song. And it was one of the songs that was played in the original Deadpool movie. What you see in the online trailer is a different song. And then he runs into the phone booth to change. And I didn't look into this, and we came to the conclusion this is different for the online trailer. On the side of the phone booth you see Nathan Summers is coming, meaning Cable, which they already announced at the end of Deadpool anyway, but which is really exciting, except in the online trailer, coming has a new spelling.
They use a different vowel.
This is the first time in all of my show notes I've had to write coming, and...
Using a different vowel.
I'm not thrilled about it. But some of the stuff we see while he's changing, there is a Logan marquee sign. We also see a Logan movie poster. We have the Superman John Williams theme. One of the differences in the online trailer is Stan Lee shows up. Deadpool pops out of the phone booth, and Stan Lee, in his Stan Lee's, was like, "Hey, nice costume."
Yeah.
Deadpool just goes, "Shut up, Stan Lee."
I love it.
And the mugger shoots the guy.
Yeah. And then, I just love typical, though, oh, you're not going to walk that off. You just died, tragically.
But then the weird thing in the background is we see multiple, like, a ton of Firefly posters. And these are posters from 2 different bits of media. One of them is from the 3rd visual companion book that came out for the show. The first 2 did really well, so they just kind of cobbled together a 3rd one. It's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And also, yeah, that's right. I pulled that out of my own personal memory. Didn't have to look that up. And also
Super fan.
And also posters of
Can I just say the amount of sass that you just gave, and the way you looked at the microphone, you were like, "That's right, bitch."
I pulled that out of my ass.
Hey, now, easy.
Visual Companion Volume 3, and they also had posters of the DVD cover. No one can see that nod but you.
That was the I Dream of Jeannie nod. Yes.
That chick's going to be at Super Mega Fest, I think, or one of the shows I'm doing. I can't remember.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Super Mega Fest.
Yeah, that's next month.
Is that the one in Bangor?
No, that one is in
America.
Some Massachusetts town. I don't remember now.
Oh. Not Hanover.
Not Hanover.
Parking is probably not going to be free.
Oh, no. Not the parking. But yeah. So, a whole bunch of Firefly. That was a weird little touch. And then Deadpool rests his head down on this old dead individual. And it cuts to credits.
He's eating the man's Ben & Jerry's.
Oh, yeah, like Cherry Garcia. And this text flies by the screen.
Yes.
And this text is a lie. This text was put there to, like, for people who do, like, trailer breakdowns to try and figure out, like, the hidden message within it. It's just a book report of Deadpool doing Old Man in the Sea. Nothing else. There's nothing to glean
Was
out
it a
of this.
decent book report on the Old Man in the Sea? Ernest Hemingway, right? That's Hemingway.
Yes, that's Hemingway. It's kind of boring to read.
Oh, the book report or Old Man in the Sea?
The book report.
Oh, okay. Have you ever read Old Man in the Sea?
Yeah, a couple times.
Oh, was it good?
Have you never read it?
I've never read Old Man in the Sea.
Yeah. Well, it's really funny. Well, there are parts of it that are funny. Like, you're going through it, he's like, this old man was out on, like, the sea for X number of days. It would be hard to not catch a fish after that many days, even on accident. That whole thing, it's a total red herring. There's nothing in there to be gleaned, which is kind of funny because it just, like, shoots past you like, what's all that information? And I know in theaters, all I heard was like, the Old Man in the Sea, and then it went way too fast for me to read.
I like that's a nice little play on words there. Old Man in the Sea, catching fish, red herring.
That's fair.
Well done.
That's more than fair.
Bravo.
It's a county fair, if not a state.
Ooh, I think we're a state fair.
Okay. But that'll do it for the news.
Market fair. Market fair prices. Fair market prices.
America.
R.I.P.
Jesus Christ. Episode 50, baby. Where things get real.
Yes.
I didn't curse there.
You didn't. Or things.
Or sure things.
Things.
Sure things.
Well, guess what? We're into our first one in a while. First one of 2017.
Yeah, our first movie of the year. We are moving on to our review of Logan.
I'm the best there is at what I do. But what I do best isn't very nice.
It's time for an Editor's Note podcast review.
As we do with each and every review, we're going to start with non-spoilers before a very clear indicator when we're getting to full spoilers.
Full frontal spoilers.
There was no full frontal in this movie.
There's some upper chest.
It's not full frontal.
No, it's not, but it's in the front.
It's half frontal.
Yes, it's partial.
All right, so, yeah, let's talk about this. If we're talking about the opening of the movie, looks, right up front, this movie's great. I don't have a lot of issues with it. I got a couple.
It wouldn't be a movie review if you didn't have a couple of issues. So let's talk broad strokes. Broad strokes first. You really like the movie.
Well, I do want to tackle the very beginning. I think that's important.
Okay.
And this isn't really spoiling anything, but I mean a little bit. It literally spoils like the first 180 seconds.
Yes.
The movie opens up and there is a fair amount of violence, like hardcore violence, like limbs are being lost, and there's a ton of cursing, F-bombs being dropped left and right.
Oh yeah, it starts off
and
with a bang.
Well, that was a little bit of a problem for me. Like, if you want to have a rated R movie, that's fine. If you want to make it hardcore, that's fine. But it felt like they were trying to make too much of a statement in the first couple of minutes. Like, this ain't your grandpappy's X-Men. Like, well, no, this series isn't that old.
Well, wasn't it the director of this that said if you're looking for something a minute, blow up sidewalk?
Yeah, he's whatever. He used a curse in there, I think.
Something fest. This is not your movie.
Yeah, but it felt like they were trying to make too much of a statement right in the beginning. Like, just play the story out. I'll pick up on the fact that you're cutting off heads and cursing and stabbing. I'll pick up on that just fine.
Yes.
But I mean, the first couple minutes of the movie, we see Logan acting as a chauffeur, and he's cutting off limbs, and he's cursing, and there's some nudity, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
It takes place in the future, but not like, what,
2029.
2028. Which, by the way, like, that's a very, like, I could buy a lot of the stuff that you see in that movie as this could be America in 2029. It wasn't, like, outrageous overreach as to what the future could look like in
No, a lot of the
12
future
years.
technology was pretty basic. They had, like, automated 18-wheelers that were driving down the highway.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
But like, you know, the vehicles, the cars still looked like, you know.
But that was a little bit of a problem for me. It was just like, yeah, I get it. I know you're hardcore. Woo, good for you. Look, some boobs.
Yes. Hey, driver, check these out.
But I mean, the movie as a whole, without spoiling what these are, this movie is a masterclass in exposition. Nothing pulls me out of a movie faster than clunky exposition, and this is a movie that demands you pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
Everything they give it to you quick, or it's kind of a background thing. It's like all the information you need to pay attention to this movie. They will give it to you.
Yes. And it's sometimes you have to kind of infer.
Every filmmaker, watch this movie. This is how you do exposition. I know it's a weird thing to be like, that's my favorite part of this movie.
Is the storytelling. Like,
yeah, they don't hand it. It might not be my favorite because this is a very dour movie, but it's easily the best structural X-Men movie without question.
Why would you call it? I mean, I wouldn't say dour. Dour's too, like, down of. I think it's more of like it's a roller coaster is what it is emotionally. It has a little bit of everything, but it's darker. It's grittier. I'd say it's a gritty movie.
Yeah, it's not.
Dour's like, it feels depressing, and yeah, there's moments.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to go watch this. Like, I'm in a really good mood. What do I want to watch? Ooh, I know, Logan.
No, I mean, when I left the theater, like I was dealing with, like, how do I feel emotionally, because there's so many themes that this movie touches on, and it's so real and visceral, and just, it was incredible storytelling, and it was incredible acting, and it was well structured, I thought.
Some of the stuff I connected with some of this movie. I was like, I could see myself doing that. Not like the heroic parts or the introspective parts. More yelling at inanimate objects and hitting them with a shovel.
That was funny.
Like, I've done that.
But, I mean,
with a shovel. That's not even an exaggeration.
But when you talk about, like, some of the things this movie does really well, like, for me, I kept thinking to myself, the blueprint was just laid out, and, like, I felt like it was almost like a way for, like, you know, Marvel just showed you can make a superhero movie that has character arc, that builds characters and takes you on an emotional journey without destroying a city and leave you thinking, holy cow, I just went on an emotional ride. And I think that's what DC maybe has been trying to do with the Batman v Superman, with the Superman movie.
This is basically what DC's been trying to do, but do it right. And they did it with a Fox movie.
Oh, my God.
And I say that so condescendingly, but I mean it to be.
But that, I mean, it's just...
Jeez, they really can't.
Some of the themes that they talk about, I mean, the way that they attack, like, age, being old. Patrick Stewart is at his absolute best in this movie. Holy cow, was he powerful.
Oh, yeah.
He was powerful, and it really explores...
I mean, he's great. So we already know these are two solid actors. You know who knocked it out of the park?
Oh, the young girl.
What's her name? Daphne Keane, I think?
I had that. I just pulled it up. It's like her first major film role, too.
It's her first
Daphne
role.
Keane. She was phenomenal.
And I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound a little shitty, but that's fine. I hate kid actors. They're, like, the best they can do is have me tolerate them, because I usually hate them.
Yeah.
She was good.
I think she was, I mean, I think...
That is the highest praise I could give for a kid actor. She was good.
This movie, I feel this time next year when we get to award season, is probably... It kind of runs into the problem.
Tomorrow.
Ooh, wow. Hey, there you do.
I like the Kinks.
Yeah. I feel like the one problem it may find between now and award season is it's so far away from award season because it just happened. But I think that you're going to see some... Because this isn't a superhero movie per se.
I disagree with that.
Do you think it's a full-on superhero movie?
Of course.
Like, well, I mean, yeah, but it doesn't feel like
I've seen a lot of reviews like transcends the genre or like subverts it or whatever. I'm like, no, it's a dude with a healing factor with metal claws, and his best friend is a psychic, and his other friend is a mutant tracker. Like, they're not doing necessarily heroic... Well, they are doing heroic things even. Like, the idea that this isn't involved with the superhero genre is a total load of crap. I don't buy that at all. I think that's a stupid assessment. And in the tradition of Logan, fuck off, reviewers.
Oh my goodness!
There's so much cursing.
Can we talk about a couple? I just want to hit on a couple of big things here too. I love the relationship between Logan and Charles. Like, you can tell, like, for the life that Logan has had, like, he genuinely cares about Charles and loves Charles like a father figure.
Yeah,
But
this is one of my notes here.
I also love, like, the father son, but I also
even though he's older.
Yes, the movie. It weaves in, like, light moments. It's never... It gets super heavy in places, but it never leaves you without, like... The laughs and the timing of the laughs are just right to just keep you from getting too low sometimes in the movie.
So, for those who are thinking, hey, this is a superhero movie, I can bring my kid, don't.
Oh, no, don't.
This isn't fun violence. This is hardcore, brutal, balls to the wall kind of violence.
I'm just curious. I'm trying to think back to our January show. Did we say this movie was going to go for the hard R?
This movie went for the hardest of R's.
This movie this movie redefined what hard R is.
This movie NC-17 the R.
This movie was brutal. And it's not just the language. It is graphic, brutal, in-your-face violence.
The violence is never fun. They don't try and make this violence like...
It's not comic book violence.
Yeah.
In the first X-Men movie, when Wolverine stabs somebody, or like any time that we've seen Wolverine stab somebody with his claws...
It's like an in and out, no problem.
In and out, and you don't see any blood. There's so much blood in this movie.
Oh my god, yeah. Heads are rolling.
Literally.
All the time. Limbs are flying. Gut. Oh man.
But so, like when some of the Reavers get it at the end, the way that they get it too, oh my god.
Well, there were certain scenes in this movie where like something would happen, and I went, "Oh shit!" And then they cut to one of the other actors, and the actress would go, "Oh shit!" I'm like, I know, right?
There were times of like genuine shock violence, and not like gratuitous for the sake of violence. Like, it was like, oh wow, like these are things that would really happen if there was a man who had adamantium claws who could cut people open. This is what it'd look like.
This is gonna be a note I have for everyone who sees this movie, who is a filmmaker, and I'm sure you're listening. This movie can never be duplicated. Never make this again. This movie is the culmination of 17 years of films of two actors embodying roles who some people have literally grown up with. You can never duplicate this movie. Never copy it. Don't try and do anything like it. This movie will stand on its own. Never make any other X-Men movies. It's done.
Well, they're talking about making other X-Men movies.
Yeah, I know there's another 3 movies in the work currently. But, God, this is the perfect end. This is just how you wrap everything up. This is the movie. Do not do another X-Men movie. They're going to. It's fine, but...
How do you feel? What do you feel about how a lot of talk beforehand was going to be an adaptation of Old Man Logan, and there were some similarities and there were some big differences. Did you like that?
He's old. That's about the only.
Well,
thing.
He's old. There's a road trip involved.
That's about it.
Yeah, I mean,
we've covered the similarities.
Do you feel like you were misled by like a lot of people saying this is going to be based on Old Man Logan, and it?
No, I never believed it was going to be because I know how rights work.
Yeah.
And I know what rights fall with what company.
But it had like some of the basic tenets of the Old Man Logan story.
Hey, well, that Logan was a pacifist.
Yes, this Logan, no.
This Logan's a stabby son of a bitch.
I'm trying to think of what else. I thought some of the cinematography was really great in it. I loved the incorporation of when we see because I'm saying stuff that you see in the trailer that is in the movie, like when.
That's something that always bugs me. Whenever you see a scene in a trailer and then you get an alternate take in the final film, it pulls me out so fast.
That didn't really do that in this.
Yeah.
But I'll say that the
3 occasions.
The tenor of the trailer for the character of Logan and the tenor of the character in the actual movie, that was a bait and switch a little bit. There was some bait and switch moments. Like in the trailer when he throws down the looks like we have an X-Men fan here in the trailer. Looks like he's like reminiscing, and in the movie, he's totally salty about it.
Oh, that's how I read it in the trailer.
I read it in the trailer like, we got, this is an X-Man fan.
I also connected with him getting drunk in a bar reading comics.
Well, yes.
I didn't, like I said, not the introspective moments. I'm like,
Yeah.
I agree.
I live this life, but
I
I don't have claws.
did notice in the trailer they had Bonebreaker credited as one of the Reavers. Bonebreaker in the comics is a guy who has the lower half of his torso as tank treads. I'm like, I didn't see that in this movie. That's a lie. Oh, Bone Crusher, whatever his name is. I think it's Bone Crusher. Either way, on our patented rating scale of see it in theaters, red box it, or don't waste your time, I give this a solid see it in theaters if you're over 17.
Yes, absolutely see this movie in theaters if you were of the appropriate age.
From there, we are moving on to spoilers.
Yes.
Look out! There's spoilers ahead!
What happened in this movie?
Oh, a lot of people die.
How so many people died? Break down the plot. What's the plot of this flick?
All right, so the plot of the flick is we're in the year, what was it, 2029?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the mutants, if not all the mutants, are dead. They're gone. Nobody really knows where they've gone, but we know where Logan is.
Oh, let me cover that, because I have a workaround. Sorry to cut you off real fast.
Oh,
So,
that's fine.
there's a line in this movie. We are now in the Days of Future Past time, like post that, so
Yes.
all we know so far is X-Men Apocalypse has happened, probably Deadpool, but beyond that we don't really have a lot of information. And there is one line that totally screws this being part of the timeline, and that is when Logan says there hasn't been a New Mutant born in 25 years. We also know that that's not true because we see other mutant characters who were born like roughly 10 to 12 years ago,
Yes.
but ones that they're aware of. This screws up the timeline because in the Days of Future Past happy ending, we see that this is a bustling school full of definite teenagers, which would have happened 6 years prior. My workaround
Yes.
to make this movie fit in that timeline because of that one friggin' syllable of 25 versus just saying there hasn't been a mutant born in years. They had to identify 25.
That's 2 syllables.
Whatever.
If you're going to be real particular, I'm going to help nitpick. Anyway.
I'm going to say the students that we see at the end of Days of Future Past are not mutants. There's nothing to indicate that they're mutants. I'm going to say that
Ooh.
Xavier redefined what the school was and tried to make mutants leaders and more prominent in the community and tried to make them positive role models, and that what we see are humans and not mutants at the end of Days of Future Past. Bam, works in the timeline. Got it.
There you go.
Stop making me work,
also-
movies. Stop making me do excuses.
Also, we find that
so close to
that
getting out of it.
Dr. Rice has been placing anti-mutant serum in corn syrup of products, but we'll get to that in a minute. So anyway, we're there. Logan's working as a night driver. He's driving people around, but it starts off he's falling asleep. He's taking a little snooze at a gas station, and some guys are trying to steal the chrome-plated hubcaps, and Logan ain't having that. So he pretty much murders like 3 dudes in the parking lot.
They shoot him. He's like, ow!
Yes.
I'm gonna stab you now.
Well, no, I like the part when they are gonna try and shoot the limo, and he jumps in front of the bullet.
He's like, not the car!
Not the paint.
I need that. That's my livelihood.
So we find out that Logan's working as a driver at night. We see him on some various different expeditions, but he's in like Texas. He's right on the Mexican border.
Yep, and over in Mexico
Charles.
is Charles living in a water tower, and he has Caliban with him of all people.
Yes.
And you beautiful idiot. Caliban shows up, you lean over and go, who's that? I'm like, do you want me to explain this right now? We are in the middle of a movie.
I couldn't remember who it was because Caliban was in
Apocalypse. Briefly.
It's a different actor, but they'd already previously cast their own actors independently.
Yeah, this was Stephen Merchant, who is probably best known for being in the British Office.
Yes. So anyway, but we find that part of what Logan is doing is to make money. He's buying drugs from a hospital, which I initially were like, oh, are these drugs for him for his pain, or is these?
No,
for...
he has whiskey for pain.
Well, that's true. As do you? I see there.
This is emotional pain because I watched a Logan.
Yes, you watched a Logan.
I watched a Logan.
Why are you saying a Logan? Anyway, but we find out he's actually buying these anti-seizure medications for Charles, who's having these massive telepathic seizures, which is important later, which you also predicted and talked about.
Yeah, did I talk about that on the show, or did I talk about it in real life? I don't even remember.
Well, the show is real life. Come on, don't sell us
Okay.
short. But also we see that he's looking to buy a boat. So Caliban is like...
I love that. I love the boat.
Yeah, Caliban's like, I see. You're gonna have me just be like below decks. I'm an albino. You're gonna put me on a boat in the middle of the ocean.
He's like, you're not buying this boat for me. You're a real son of a bitch.
No, but I mean, like you said, like the exposition. You have to figure out that boat has a reason, and you kind of put together why Logan wants to build a boat, or not build a boat, but get a boat and be on the boat and take Charles with him, which I thought was really like. There's a lot of sad, like themes in this.
Yeah, the quick gist that we learn later on is that Charles had a seizure when they were at the school, and he killed 7 people.
Which might have been the X-Men.
Well, they say, like, some of the X-Men. They don't identify who it was.
Yeah.
Which you don't really need to identify who it was. At the end of Days of Future Past, there are 8 surviving X-Men. Rogue, Iceman, Colossus, Kitty Pryde, Storm, Jean Grey, Cyclops, Beast.
That's
and
8.
then, yeah, that was the 8.
Okay.
So 7 of those 8 are dead. Can't tell you who the surviving one is. It's a mystery.
Did you include Wolverine as one of the 8?
No.
That's 9.
And then
what
Charles
about,
would be 10.
Charles would be 10. What about Magneto?
I think there was a line they were like, they said something and Wolverine kind of goes off. He's like, no, he's dead.
Oh, yes. Well, bummer for Magneto. But the other interesting piece is this woman, Gabriella comes up to him as he's like being a driver for a funeral. And by the way, he's standing out in the middle of the pouring rain at this funeral without an umbrella, getting bombed. Like he's just drinking alcohol at this person's funeral.
And he's the driver.
But
what really throws... So that scene's a little bit funny because I tried to break this whole movie down. That scene threw me off because if you look at the background, there's someone in a wheelchair with an umbrella. So I was convinced that it was going to be Charles in the background there and he was driving Charles around. Wrong.
Nope, wrong.
I'll call when I'm wrong. I'll own it.
Charles is very old and very feeble. And it kind of brings up, like, for me, I was thinking about, like, when your mom or dad, they get, like, really, like, when they get to that stage in their life where they need, like, constant care. Like, what that kind of, like you just get a really interesting look at that. I think that's one of the great things that Patrick Stewart did in this movie is just how he acted. It was phenomenal. But anyway, Gabriella says, "Are you Wolverine?" And he's like, "Get the hell away from me." Oh, he didn't say "Get the hell away from me." Which, oh, by the way, I like how he retook the name James Howlett.
Yeah, that was a nice little touch.
I was like, oh, that's kind of a deep point. Like, no, not really. I'm like, let me have my moment. I know what that means. I know who James Howlett is.
I was trying to shut you down in the middle of the movie. Like, ooh, deep pull. Like, medium pull.
Hey, at least I knew that James Howlett was his name originally. Give me credit for that. You won't.
Medium pull.
All right, well, medium pull's better than no pull. So we find out that she has this, quote-unquote, her daughter, and she's trying to get her daughter to safety. And Logan's like, lady, I don't want any part of this. In Canada. Which I thought was always a neat little, like, I think it's a neat kind of full circleness because he's Canadian.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's like, no. But then, like, I can't remember how they meet up again. Oh, no. Oh,
she Ubers him.
She Ubers him. But even, like, cooler than that is, like, Charles is, like, having premonitions.
It's
like these two.
Logan! There's another mutant. Logan!
They're waiting for you underneath Liberty. And he's like, Statue of Liberty was a long time ago, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not going to get too deep into the timeline, but they do mention that things that happened in the first timeline also happened in the second timeline.
Yeah.
At least closely, not exactly.
I found you drunk. You were a drunk cage fighter.
Yeah.
All that stuff. So we come to find out that this woman, we meet the Reaver. We meet the head Reaver.
Donald Pierce.
And he's like, hey, Wolverine, I know what you got down in Mexico, A. And B, this woman is looking for you. And, well, I want you to let me know when she contacts you.
He gives him a business card that's like Alkali Security, and he goes off on a cursing tirade.
Yeah, because apparently it's not very good.
As well, because Alkali Lake was where the Weapon X program was located in these movies.
Yes. So, anyway, we get to where he's...
His best buddy, Charles, who he's drugging to not have seizures to kill everyone.
And he's waiting to buy a boat, which we figure out the boat is to take Charles into the ocean where his seizures won't bother anybody.
Yeah, and it's really dark. Like, he's like, I don't remember who you are. And then he has these moments of clarity. He's like, I remember you, Logan.
Yeah.
You are a disappointment.
Yes.
Jesus.
I also like the, you left me with that albino.
Yeah, what? It's so harsh.
Again, I can't understate how awesome Patrick Stewart is in this movie.
He is so good.
He has some of the best, like, comic lines in the movie, too. Like, some of the best joke lines. So, we get to where he's going to Uber for this woman, and she's going to offer him a boatload of cash.
So he can buy a boat.
Yes. So he decides to take the job, but by the time he goes back to take the job, she's dead. And somehow X-23, who we found out her name is Laura.
Laura, they don't say her last name, Laura Kinney.
Yes. Somehow gets into the car.
Gets in the trunk.
Yes.
She pops the trunk. She
Secretly.
pops the lock.
Yeah. And then we got a really neat scene, I thought, like, where Charles is like, it feels like he's having flashbacks to like having the school and like opening himself to like helping out a young mutant. Like you can tell he's finding like real pride and pleasure, and he's kind of going back.
Well, he has to. Like that's his whole arc, and we're gonna spoil it. Like he has to help this girl.
It's like his redemption.
It's the only thing he can do. Like he is forced to help this girl. And
Charles or Logan?
Charles.
Yes.
He has to because of what he did, where he killed the X-Men. He ended the X-Men. He literally destroyed the dream he had since the 1960s,
which he like is like has forgotten. Like he's gonna push it out of his memory, and Logan like keeps like helping him forget.
But the kind of shorter version is so Laura meets up with them, and there's a big old fight.
Yes.
She, as we see in the trailer, she pops her claws, and Xavier's like, "Yeah, she's
a lot like you, Logan.
She is definitely your kid." He's like, "No, she's not."
He goes, "Does she remind you of anyone?"
Yeah, because she like rolls ahead like a bowling ball.
Good. Yeah, that was something you didn't get in the trailer when she's coming out. But oh my goodness, and she had the toe claws. You called it.
Yeah. Where she has. I was surprised they did that. And you who were like, "What could a foot claw do?" You see what a foot claw did?
Oh, it did a lot.
She was very stabby with her claw on the foot.
So they're on the run. They're on the lam.
And without getting too deep into it, I think we should just jump ahead to like the next huge plot point.
Yes.
Xavier, they have a really touching moment of everyone all together
at a table.
Yeah, where
we see the effects of a seizure.
Yep, we do. Xavier's lucid. They're all talking and they're all happy, and it's very brief. And Xavier is left alone, and he remembers. He remembers what he did.
Yes. Well, before that, we get a little bit of exposition about where Laura came from. It was all cloning. And they were trying to get all the children back that they had cloned and give powers because they were trying to build like an army of mutant soldiers.
Essentially mutant clones.
Yes.
I was trying to figure out like who are these individual mutants. It turns out like if they were basically just clones of pre-established mutants.
Yes.
So Laura, whose name in the comics is X-23, she is the 23rd attempted a clone of Wolverine. The first 22 failed.
Yes.
And that number is going to be important in this movie.
Yes, because there is an X-24.
Which I had no idea about.
You didn't?
No idea.
Talk about badass, by the way.
That was totally kept under wraps. I had no idea. But Xavier is in bed, and he's talking.
They had a lovely like time with these people who like they helped after like getting run off the road by one of these automated semis. And like, but you said it like as he's helping him, you go, it sucks because these people are going to die.
Everyone's dead here. But he's in bed by himself, and he's just going, I remember what I did.
Like he's like,
and it's awful, and
it's so sad because like this is the best night I've had in a long, long time, and I didn't deserve it.
We have to help this girl. Like this is all that matters.
Yeah,
the boat doesn't matter. You and I don't matter. All that matters is that we help this girl. And he has all of this remorse and regret, and he has a moment of clarity of remembering, even though it was an accident, the terrible thing that he did.
Yes.
And he's stabbed in the heart.
Yes, by X-24. Which, by the way, we left like an important like kind of point here is Logan has these X-Men comics that Laura had, and it talked about going to Eden, and it has the coordinates for Eden, and the same coordinates he was given to deliver. And he's like, this was just made up in a comic book. But he's now...
latitude, longitude, like very specific coordinates. Yes.
And Logan is going to do this trip because it's what Charles wants. Logan doesn't even want to do this.
No.
But now he's kind of forced into it. But
anyway... And now Xavier has been stabbed in the heart by a clone of Wolverine, X-24, which is not a comic book thing. Throwing that out there.
Yeah. But, like, and then you, like, see... that they capture X-23, they capture Laura, but like Logan, like his first worry is like going to
get Charles. And he's like apologizing. He's like, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It's so heartbreaking.
So sad.
And there's no like bittersweetness here. Like Charles just dies, and it's terrible, and he doesn't have any resolution on the horrible things he did.
Yeah, and
At
like
the end of
those
his
are the
life.
last things through his mind, which sends Wolverine into this rage. But meanwhile, X-24 is killing everybody.
Yeah, he is so hard.
Like,
And
cuts
then-
a guy's head off, cuts another guy's leg off, beats a guy to death with the leg.
And this is probably the best de-aging technology we've seen. Like,
Oh, look,
this younger Wolverine looks good.
looks very good.
But
He gets impaled on a corn harvester.
and then Wolverine fights X-24 and he gets his ass handed to him.
Oh, yes, he does.
Like, he's old, he's slow moving, his claws aren't popping quite right, and it's not like
He's not
and then
healing
he's
as
summoned
fast.
the strength to win. No, he just gets his ass handed to him.
He didn't even win. It's the guy hit the...
Someone hits him with a truck.
Yeah, and like impales him onto... And then shoots him multiple times in the face.
Yeah. Brutally.
But the other thing that we learned about Wolverine is that he's also sick. The adamantium is poisoning him.
Which is comic accurate.
Yes. That makes sense if I had a metal skeleton. So we leave there. He buries Charles and he beats the shit out of a truck with a shovel.
Passes out. Yeah.
Passes out, wakes
Good
up,
work.
wakes up in the doctor's office. The doctor's like, you should really go to a hospital. And then Laura, who's not said a word all movie, and it's been masterful. Like her not talking, and we see her like.
Yeah, we're not
engaging-
sure if she's a mute or not, but she definitely isn't. Like
No.
cinematic. Like if you have any semblance of storytelling, you're just waiting for like when's it going to be emotionally significant.
Yeah, and she like speaks, and she starts hitting him.
Like it punches him in the nose.
Yes. You want to go to Eden? Fine, we'll go.
Like, it just yells at a child.
So they eventually get to Eden.
Our hero, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, our heroine. They get to Eden. It's a real place, and there are other mutant children there, and they're like 8 miles from the border. All they do is get to Canada, and they have immunity.
Yep, and there's someone on the radio, and we don't know who it is. It doesn't really matter. It's good storytelling.
And
We don't need that explanation. We just know that they have a contact.
Wolverine sleeps for about 8 days.
Yeah, something like that.
But they keep giving him like a serum, like a mutant serum, to help him heal. And then they also
And
they
that's
also
right out of the death of Wolverine.
Yeah.
Because in the death of Wolverine, previous to that, he lost his healing factor, and there was a drug that would temporarily bring it back. So that's 100% from that story. They decided that he shouldn't have a dad beard anymore.
No,
It
so
gives
they-
him his mutton chops back.
they give him the mutton chops and the haircut back. He's like, not funny. I'm not what you think I am. And you get like there's some like you get a little sense of like the old man Logan there. Like he's like, I don't want to be this. This is not what I want to be. Really powerful moment. He like is talking with Laura, who's like finally found a sense of connection with her father.
Who understands that like we are connected,
Yeah.
and
And he goes, bad shit happens to the people I care about. And she goes, well, then you don't have to worry about me. And I was like, that was heartbreaking.
that was a hell of a moment.
Oh. So they're leaving the next day to go. He gives the money back. They give him money like for doing, but like at that point, Logan has nothing left in his life.
Yeah, and he's mentioned he's had a bullet, which is definitely going to be a MacGuffin, which was set up very early on. He has an adamantium bullet.
Yes.
Where he's like, well, I was going to kill myself with
Yeah.
this. By the way, you 9-year-old girl, I'm going to describe to you what the idea of suicide is.
Yes.
Dark. So dark.
So dark. But he, as the young mutant clones have left, the kids have left, making their way, the Reavers show up. And so Logan's like, you know what? I'm going to go help them. Logan takes the whole, he's only supposed to take little bits of the serum. He takes the whole friggin' vial.
We had a guy behind us in the theater, like, they were like, only take a little bit of this drug at a time.
Yeah.
And then it cuts away from it. Then it cuts back to the empty bottle. And I hear this guy behind us, oh, he took the whole bottle. Like, yes, idiot, of course.
And he goes full vintage Wolverine and just mows everyone down.
Until he confronts Dr. Xander Rice, who is responsible for making Laura. And he's going to give this whole speech about, like, the ethics of humanity. And Logan just shoots him in the face.
Which I love because Logan's like, I hate guns.
Yeah, he's like, good enough, he's dead.
And then also shoots
Donald
Pierce's robotic hand. Which, by the way, then the mutant kids, they frig him up.
Including Richter from X Factor.
Yes, also could we talk
Had to
about the
throw
kid
that
who like froze the one guy's arm and then
So
blew
that's
it up?
supposed- yeah, so that's supposed to be an Iceman clone.
Yes.
A Reaver grabs this one girl and he's gonna handcuff her and bring
Yeah.
her away. She freezes his arm and just breaks it off. It's so brutal.
Oh. So X-24 gets out and just
destroys Logan.
Yes. And Logan the kids help him, like they drop a tank on him and the X-24 gets the
Does
tank
nothing.
up. Yeah. So
And he throws Wolverine through a tree.
Yeah, pretty much impales him.
Hard. Not like, I have a little branch out of me. Like, I have a tree sticking out of my torso.
Oh, yeah, Logan's done. I thought there was a split.
No.
There was a small moment before that. Like, I thought that Logan might get a happy ending, but I was like, does he really deserve a happy ending? He kind of still gets like a Logan-ish happy ending.
And then Laura shoots X-24 in the head and he falls.
Oh, he's done.
And she goes to comfort Wolverine, and he's like, I finally know how it feels. And he has this moment of pride and love. And
well, earlier Charles was telling him, like, with that family scene, like, feel it, soak it in.
And he feels a connection to someone. And he dies in peace.
Yes. And that's so sad, like, Laura there, like, the way that, like...
What actually I was really impressed by, I know this is a weird small thing, like, she is bawling her eyes out.
Yes.
But she's rolling some snot, too.
Yes.
You never see snot in a movie cry.
I thought she was one of the highlights of the movie for me. She was phenomenal. I enjoyed it. But like the last part, what did you think about her taking the cross by his grave down and then like making it into an X?
I loved that because
I thought it was a great.
Every other X-Men movie is so saturated with X's.
This is the only one we got.
None. This was the only X in this movie. Was her taking the cross that's at his grave?
Yeah.
Picking it up, turning it.
Boom. Last.
I was like, ah.
That movie, I'm getting like emotional just thinking about it. It was a great emotional.
I haven't been this emotional since Flash season 1.
I mean, it got dusty in the theater. I had a little misty eye at the end.
Yeah, it was.
I may have rolled one. I may have rolled a tear.
Don't make another X-Men movie. This is the end.
You can't touch on Wolverine anymore, at least.
No, this is as good as it's gonna get.
And the other thing I think though, like the problem with it, if you did another X-Men movie, is now you've kind of painted in the back end of the timeline. We know how it ends.
Yeah, I mean, and you can't. They're like, oh, this takes place in a slightly different universe. Like, you can't reference half a dozen things that happened before.
Yes.
And then say it's different.
No, don't like mess it up.
Pick one or the other. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You leave it to me to come up with crap excuses that weren't originally intended.
Yeah. No, this
it hurts my brain.
Leave it be.
I've already done it before. Go read my article on whatculture.com.
There you go. So no, I say go see it. Absolutely.
One of the best. If you listen this far, I'd be surprised if you didn't. It's a masterful movie. It is not an uplifting movie.
No, but I think it is one of the. I think it's the best X-Men movie. I think it's the best movie of the X-Men movies. I don't know if it's the best X-Men movie per se.
Does
that make sense what I'm saying?
Still, I mean, I don't have the benefit of hindsight yet because I only watched it once. This is without question the best movie. But if I think if I was going to sit down and watch one for fun, I might watch The Wolverine because I just like seeing ninjas thrown through a snowblower.
Yes, like this isn't like the funnest, but it's the best, like structurally storytelling.
Easily. Oh,
I think X2 I think is better than the first one. First one's pretty good, but X2 is a little bit better. Totally strange how far we've come since then, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, let's end this damn series after 17 years. That being said, we are moving on to letters to the editors.
Lot of questions, number one. Damn few answers.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Make it so.
Our 50th show is a long-ass show.
Well, the question I had, this question has been pushed back 2 separate weeks in a row.
All right, it's time to put it to the forefront.
I received a topical question this week.
Oh, okay.
I was asked if Laura Kinney has adamantium over all of her bones.
Ooh, this is because I was talking with somebody today. If her bones right now were adamantium, how can she grow?
This was likely the same person who sent me this question.
Does this person...
They might not know they're on the show, and I already answered to them over messaging.
Oh, this person might be somebody I work with?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This person asked me multiple times today, and I said maybe the plan was to have like multiple surgeries. Who knows?
So the question, does Laura Kinney have adamantium over all of her bones? Go. I know the answer here.
No.
The answer is no.
No, she does not.
She's a kid. She has to grow. If adamantium was over all of her bones, she'd have stunted growth. She wouldn't actually be able to grow as an individual.
Yes.
So the answer is no. She has adamantium over her claws. And then I was asked a follow-up question. well, those bones grow too, so what's up with that? And I just said, well, I guess she's just going to have a funny half metal, half bone claw. Look, it's comics.
Yeah, if that's your concern of the movie, you're getting way too friggin' nitpicky.
Even in the movie, they had like a moment, I think, was it on her chart? They were like adamantium, like connection points. Like they subtly show that it's not going over her entire body. It's just going onto these specific points.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's just on the claws. Yes, technically, in a real-life scenario, if she grew more than a 9-year-old, then she would only have metal over part of those claws, unless, like, I don't know, a Magneto thinned out the metal and expanded it further down the bone. But, yes.
I would imagine that they had plans to, at some point, like I told this person, I'm sure there were plans to make sure at some point she would have a full adamantium skeleton.
Yeah, so the short version, no, she cannot have it over all of her body because it will stunt her growth.
There you go. That's common sense.
And that's 50 episodes.
We did it!
In the bag. I don't have another metaphor. That's my only one. In the bag.
In the can.
In the can, in the bag. In a flower pot of sand.
That makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
I don't. What good is a flower pot of sand? You can't grow anything in sand.
A cacti.
Can't grow anything useful in sand.
Nope.
It's coarse. It gets everywhere.
Oh my god, no. Boo.
It's irritating. Where can we find you?
Well, hopefully next week I will have...
Wait, I said, where can we find you? Well, hopefully next week.
Yeah. I will rise from the dead. Hopefully next Tuesday I'll have a new show up on iTunes. We'll see.
Ooh, yes.
If you want to get this show a day early, you can throw $1 our way over on Patreon.
Patreon.
As I mentioned, gives me an unbelievable level of peace. You have no idea. You can find me over on editorsnotecomics.com, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you're interested in my writing, I'll have that linked on the website relatively soon as well. We're also on YouTube, on iTunes. I'm going to slow it down for a second. Rate. Review.
Subscribe.
Our subscription numbers aren't bad. But also do that if you haven't.
Rate and review. Rate and review.
But also subscribe if you haven't.
Also, don't forget the Editor's Note Comics podcast, Editor's Note Comics basketball NCAA tournament pick'em.
That thing, yeah.
Yeah, where you can win a signed autographed shirt.
Oh my god. And some other stuff. There's actually good stuff in there too. At least
yeah.
Like
well, the autographed shirt is a great thing, I think. You're selling the shirt too short.
And you're on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter @JuniorRich. Check it out. You'll find the information for the tournament challenge there. And
we will be back next week. God, 2 weeks in a row. We're
going to the movies again.
Let's all go to the movies.
See, again, this is
Let's all go to the movies. Let's all go to the movies and watch a monkey punch it.
I don't think that's how it's like. That's not how it goes. I know the let's all go to the theater. Let's all go to the get ourselves a snack, I think is what it says.
Yeah, well,
it's wrong. Like the popcorn's dancing. It's very off-putting. The weird faced popcorn dances.
And let's all sneak in Twizzlers, except for people who don't like them because they taste weird, and I don't know why you like Twizzlers so much.
Because they're delicious as shit.
I'm not really into.
Yeah, this really does feel like the longest relationship I've ever been, because now we're going on multiple movie dates. It's been almost a year. I feel like there's a certain level of commitment. When are you going to put a ring on it?
The will they won't they aspect of the podcast continues.
We've made it this far.
The answer is they will.
Apparently there's a list of things that we have to do. It's our podcast relationship bucket list.
But we'll be back next week, and then the week after that, find out what our 1 year extravagant episode is.
It's going to be a big one.
No, it's not. It's just going to be regular stuff.
It's going to be a big one.
Same old stuff.
It's going to be a big one.
It might be Iron Fist? I don't know.
It's going to be a big one.
I'm going to make you come over here on Sunday. We're just going to binge watch a TV show. I'm going to make you sit down and not... Except I think I have to go to a party or something that day. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the 1 year anniversary party. We're going to have celebrities there. We're going to have cake and ice cream. And
no, I'm just going to make
Stanley.
you watch 13 hours of television in a very short period of time.
Sit
down! Bring a crappy 6-pack and sit down!
Attaboy. All right.
We'll be back.
Kong next week. Kong! That's Chewbacca, you dipshit.
Not close enough.
Bye!